This video will walk you through iWars Lab 2 Tutorial 1, Basic Fireteam Engagement. Unlike iWars Lab 1 where we only had blue agents, Lab 2 will also have red agents, and the blue and red agents will engage each other. So let's go ahead and get started. We have McKenna mount site right here. Let's go ahead and add in our blue agents. So I'm going to add in my blue agents over here on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to go add unit or agents, blue, unit, fire team, and they pop up right there. I'm going to move them. I'm going to change their formation to being urban close assault, and now I'm going to rotate them so they're facing in down the street. I'm now going to add in 4 waypoints. I'm going to name the first one RFM for my riflemen, and this is the waypoint that they are going to walk to. Move it about right here. Add another waypoint. I'm going to call this one SAW for my SAW gunner. Add another waypoint. Move it over here. I'm going to call that FTL for my fire team leader. And I'm going to add in a 4th waypoint, as you could expect, for my grenadier. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my fire team 1 and set the formation to being no formation. The reason I'm doing this is if you have them in a formation and you have them moving, they will be forced to move as a formation. However, I want them to move individually, each to one of those waypoints. Alright, so I now have my blue forces in place, and let's go ahead and add our red agents. We're going to put them on the 2nd floor of this building right here. So I'm going to switch my view from the ground floor to the 2nd floor. I'm now going to add in a red units without formation buddy team. And they get added right here. If you control click to get them to move, it'll only register the click if it's somewhere on the 2nd floor. There's no 2nd floor over here, so it won't register that click. Similarly, if I'm trying to turn them, if I click there, it won't register. But if I click here on the 2nd floor, it does. So I'm going to have it so that they're slightly angled and place them at the window so that they're looking down the street where the blue agents are walking towards. All right. So I'm just going to check real quick to make sure that they have a nice view down the street and that the window's open. And you can see default agent can already see the blue agents. And default agent 2 should have a good line of sight as well. I can't see my red agents anymore because went back to my ground floor view. However, if I go to 2nd floor, I can see them now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my rules of engagement. So if I click on blue force, it says that I will never engage unknown, never engage another blue. I'll always engage red agents when I see them, and I will never engage civilians. Now for my red force, it's similar. However, they will always engage blue agents and never engage red agents or unknowns. I'm going to change the unknowns to always engage. It just makes it a little bit easier for them to engage. They don't have to get positive identification then. So with all that, we can now open Mission Builder. So I'm going to load Mission Builder. And I'm going to start by defining my fire team leader mission. So I'm going to create mission 1. I'm going to call it FTL. And I'm going to go ahead and assign it just to my fire team leader. So it's going to have a couple of, it's going to have 2 activities in here. The first is going to have a movement activity, move along path individual. I'm going to click and drag that over. And on it, it needs me to set a path. I'm going to click on, instead of move along path, I'm going to change that to move to waypoint. My waypoint, as you can imagine, is going to be FTL. I'm also going to assign a engagement mission. So if I scroll down here in my template library to shoot, and I choose engage retarget and drag it over to the screen, create the activity group, and so now my fire team leader will move along the path, and if he sees any red agents, he'll engage them. All right, so we're looking pretty good for the fire team leader, but we need almost identical missions for the rest of the fire team. So that's pretty easy to do. We just hit copy, and it creates copy. I'm going to copy it a couple of times more, and I'm going to change the names and assign them to my saw gunner, assign it to my grenadier, and I'm going to assign it to my rifleman. The other thing I need to do now is I need to go into each of these and change the waypoint that they're going to. So I need to change this to being for the saw gunner. I need to change this to being for the grenadier. And I need to change this to being the waypoint we defined as rifleman. All right, so I'm going to save my scenario. I'm just going to call this Lab2Tutorial1. Hit save. So that's looking pretty good, right? Now we need our mission for the Red Forces. The Red Forces have a pretty simple mission. I'm just going to call it, add one. We're going to call it Op4. And all they're going to do is engage. And I'm going to assign it to my Red Force. It's assigned, and we should be good. All right, close Mission Builder, hit save, and run it. All right, you can see they're starting to engage. And you can see them all moving to the waypoint that they need to be at. Just real quick, let's go to the second floor and see. Oh, looks like they killed one of the red agents, and there's currently a shootout between this red agent and that blue agent. All right, let's run this again, and let's watch it from the red agent, first person observe, and I'm going to play the scenario. All right, so they see the agents and they're starting to engage. Oh. Well, it looks like the red agent is currently being blocked by a small little wall right there. However, the other red agent had a clear line of sight. So let's see how did. So it looks like that one red agent died, as well as two of the blue agents. And that concludes tutorial 1. We're going to build off this for tutorial 2.